Hey guys, the end of the year brings with it all sorts of top 10, top 20 lists, whether it be for movies or music or actors or TV shows or just about anything on the planet. I think people want to do a top 10. I want to do the top, however many I end up with. I haven't decided how many it's going to be, but the top, my top pickups for the year. For the most part, these will be new items, but not always. And for the most part, they will be box sets, but again, not always. So, if it came out in this particular year in 2013 or last year, I should say, I will highlight that. I will mention that. However, just because it might have come out earlier, if I just got it last year, it may also be included in the list. So hopefully, I've cleared that up or muddied it up. So what? Again, just to be safe, these are items either that I think are the best releases of last year, or they're items I picked up last year that may have been released prior, but I just got them last year. So for me, they make my top list of things I acquired in 2013. And I'll make the distinction as to whether it came out in 2013, and obviously I acquired it, or whether I acquired it and it's an older one, but to me it's new, and I want to highlight it for you because I think it's a great release and one of the ones I picked up in the year. So hopefully that clears it up and I can start. All right. First one up is going to be the one I just did a video on earlier, so I'm not going to go through too much with this one because you can just check my recent videos to see it. But it is the Clint Eastwood 20 film collection, autographed at the bottom, fits on the shelf great like this, comes with a 48-page booklet and a really nice, and check out the digibook type of release this is on my channel on a separate video just for this. But this is definitely one of the top releases I've picked up. How can you beat 20 films? It might be the best release I picked up. It's certainly, if not the best, it's close to the best. 20 mainstream films by, to my mind, a great director, Clint Eastwood, spanning everything from 1970s Dirty Harry up till Trouble with the Curve from 2012. So just about everything you could want on here from Clint Eastwood, minus a couple things. So that is on my list for top 2013 releases. And here's another one, and that is, you've seen this before, Zatoichi, the Blind Swordsman. And let me tell you, these are excellent. Love the way these fit together. Love the artwork on this. I took off the Zatoichi, and you're probably very familiar with that gold Zatoichi. But what I did was, and I think what I'm going to do is get some double-sided, what's the word I'm looking for? Like Post-it note type tape. I don't want anything that's permanent. I want something removable. Removable, that's what I want. But this one's got, I sold the DVDs. I think maybe some of you might remember. I sold the 2 DVDs out of this, which leaves room for me to slide in some little cards or something, or my little notes about each one of these movies. I'm just left with the Blu-rays and the beautiful case. I paid $112 for this, the 50% off at Barnes & Noble. Sold the DVDs for $80, plus I think it was $10 shipping or something. So I'm doing quite well with this, I think, because I really didn't need the DVDs. It's the exact same stuff on both. And here are what I did was I took these off, both the front and the back. This is what you're used to seeing. And I laminated these at work. So when I'm ready, these are going to hold up nicely. And I'm eventually going to put this back onto the case, and maybe even the back one, but probably just the front one. Let's keep the back one here. List all the movies. Once I get that tape. So Zatoichi, the Blind Swordsman, for my money, and it was my money, definitely makes the top list of releases for this year, and also one of the top things I've added to my set. And the more I watch Zatoichi, the more impressed I am. But I still think the Clint Eastwood one might have the edge, simply because it's 20 different movies with totally different themes and so on. But we shall see as I watch both of them. Okay, another one that I picked up, and I picked this one up this year. I haven't even opened this yet. It's one of these things I've been watching so many other things. I take it back, I did open it finally. Is Deadwood, the complete series. I'm a sucker for Westerns. I like the sound of this one. It's really got a nice digibook. Not as nice as the Clint Eastwood one, because I don't quite like this as much, but they do fit in there nice, and they do come out nicely. So, some beautiful glossy pages on this. If you haven't seen this set, this is really nice. This came out prior to 2013. I don't know exactly when it came out. It's out here someplace. So I think it came out prior to 2013. Yeah, 2010 is when this came out. But I don't care. I got it this year for the first time. It's excellent. What I have seen of Deadwood, not on this, I haven't watched any of these yet, but what I have seen on Deadwood when it was on, I didn't watch the whole thing, but the episodes I saw were very nicely done. And I'm really looking forward to spending some time with this one after I finish The Wire, which I'm really into right now. But yeah, that's Deadwood the Complete Series. Not a 2013 release, but one I picked up in 2013, and I'm liking it quite a bit. Back to another 2013 release is this one. This is the Roberto Rossellini and Ingrid Bergman trilogy of movies, Stromboli, Europe 51, and Journey to Italy. And Ingrid Bergman is just such a wonderful actress. I've become more fascinated with her as I've delved into and researched a little bit more some of the movies she's done, and just watch a very classy lady, spoken a number of languages, and really impressed by her. And I've only watched Stromboli so far out of this threesome, but I really liked it. And I've liked most of what she's ever been in, most of that I've ever seen. There's the spine on that. There's the back. Tons of special features. What makes a Criterion Collection release better than mostly anything else is all these extras you get. I mean, you just get a ton of extras so that if you want to know something about this movie, how it was made, where it was shot, what some of the people involved in it thought about the director or the actress or some of the trials and tribulations or the critical response or you name it, chances are Criterion's got it. And this one has got more special features than most I've seen. So really wonderful release. Really allows you to delve into the movies. Not the flashiest of releases necessarily, but a really nice booklet with it. I can show you that real quick in case you haven't seen it. Very nice booklet, which has a lot of information about the film. Probably just about everything you want to know about it. And some really beautiful pictures along the way. So that's 3 films by Roberto Rossellini starring Ingrid Bergman on the Criterion Collection. Spine 672, in case you are keeping track of those types of things. I normally don't, but that's okay. Another release, and this is a single release, and I'm only going to have a few of those just because I'm more enamored of the box sets, but this one I have to mention. And that is, and it's just come out recently, in the dual format, Blu-ray and DVD. Again, I'm not really sure of the purpose of that, but I'm not complaining. I mean, it allows me, if I want to have the DVDs to take with me somewhere, perhaps, to watch at somebody else's home. If I'm visiting my parents or somebody that don't have a Blu-ray player, that'd be fine. If I want the DVD for the kids to be able to watch it, maybe. Now, this would not be one of them. And I keep the Blu-ray, that's fine. Or I can do what I did with Zatoichi and sell them. But in any event, Nashville, I think, is a great release this year. Tons of extras again. 3-hour movie. Just a wonderful piece of Americana by Robert Altman. I love Robert Altman anyway, so that's just a great release. And I had to make mention of that. I just picked this one up the other day, and I started watching it, and the quality on it, not the greatest. But for something from 1965, 51 episodes of a cult classic on 16 discs, picked it up for $20. The complete Emma Peel mega set. For me, for a 10-year-old or 12-year-old or whatever I was when this thing came out, I really fell in love with Emma Peel. I had the major crush on her. And you know what? I still do. I watched the first episode the other night, and man, is she is hot. I was absolutely right at 12. Nothing has changed. She has all the sex appeal of any woman I think I've seen on a rated G television show, and she pulls it off in cat suits and jumpsuits and leather and mini skirts and everything else. So Emma Peel, and John Steed, pretty good sidekick for her. Actually, she's a sidekick, but not the way I look at it. Great mysteries, A lot of spy espionage type stuff going on. Not a ton of violence typically, although there's usually a death or two along the way. But it's not. I don't know how to explain it. There's not a lot of gunfire going on. It's like hitting somebody over the head with a cane, or shooting at them as they're running away, but you don't necessarily hit them. So, like the Avengers quite a bit, and that's one of my top pickups. And let's see, what year was this released? For all I know, it could have been 2013. It was 2013, so there. I say that's a top release of last year there because it's some appeal. And if you look at some of these other Avengers sets that are out there, these things are going for a ton of money. The ones that are out of print, like $170 just for one season. And here we got 3 seasons, all have appeal. To me, the best one anyway. And I pick it up for that. Now, here's a few others that I've got to make mention of that came out this year that are pretty cool. Here's Weeds. Weeds is neat. Love the case on it. How can you not like the picture on the front of it? I haven't seen the whole thing. I heard it went downhill on the last seasons. And that may be true. But Mary Louise Parker is gorgeous in this thing. I love the premise. Her husband dies. She got to sell pot to make ends meet. And then all the things that happen as a result of that. I think it tried to go a little bit in the Breaking Bad genre, but it didn't make it. So, as far as her being a bigger player than she needed to be, I think that's what happened. I haven't watched the last season, so I can't say that for sure. I mentioned The Wire. Yeah, for me, The Wire, one of my top pickups, but it's not new. It's older. Weeds was new this year, so I have to leave a little room for one more after this next one. And I think I'm done with my list anyway. This one, it didn't come out this year, but I had trouble finding this. One of my favorite shows of all time, maybe my favorite comedy of all time, I think it is. All in the Family, the complete series, all the DVDs, and a pretty good sized book to talk about it. So really like that one. And then this one I got in a trade. I'll tell you what, this one is awesome. As far as a quality release, it'd be hard to beat this one. It's a beautiful release. I got this from Leroy Green, 85, and I'm really thankful for that. It's a beautiful release. I got to figure out how to. It's bowing a little bit the way I'm storing it, so I got to do something better with it. I got to store it flat for a while, I think, to unbow it, because I've been kind of putting it upright like this, and it's starting to bow it. I'm going to figure out, Leroy, how do you display yours? I can't display it this way. I'll figure it out. But anyway, beautiful set. If it had more movies in it, I'd give it the top spot. As it is, it's got a Blu-ray and DVD of each of these movies. There's 4 or 5 in here. And then a bunch of extra stuff. Some bonus features, and then a wonderful book that's part of this. That's a lot of pages with it. So, really like this one, this Bruce Lee set. The everything about this feels classy. The Legacy Collection. Really liking it. I got to do something about that book. That's going to bother me if it continues to bow like that, so I'm going to have to do something to unbow that, like I said. But I'll mess with it now. I'll have libel. So you can see how it bows a little bit there, just from standing it up and the way it's the wear on the spine there. But Bruce Lee Legacy Collection definitely, I think, belongs in your collection if you can get it for a good price. And I thank Leroy Green for a really nice trade he gave me on that. I think that's it, guys. I can mention Schindler's List that I picked up this year. That was a 2013 release. There might be a couple others that came out. The Breaking Bad set is awesome. I have that, but I've got the individual ones, so I can't. I don't have the oil can release, which looks. I'm not going to buy it either. It's too much money. But I like what I have. I just can't call it a single release. But I think as a combination of releases, Breaking Bad was awesome. And Game of Thrones continues to be a favorite of mine, and so on. So those are my picks for some of the best things that came out this year that I got anyway. What'd you get that you thought was great this year? What's one of your prized possessions, prized releases that you picked up this year, whether it came out this year or not? I'm curious, and I've got some others I didn't mess with here in this video, but it's already going on long enough. So take care, guys. Happy New Year, and we'll be seeing you.